It's all the above, best believe we do it better. I want the fame, the fortune, all the above. I want the checks, the moolah, all the above. From Philadelphia to New York, all the above. Man, tell them other stations they don't do it like us. I want the fame, the fortune, all the above. I want the checks, the moolah, all the above. From Philadelphia to New York, all the above. Man, tell them other stations they don't do it like us. What up?
Hey guys, it's your girl Angel Marie from All of the Above, and I am here and joined with star of Little Women Atlanta, Abira Greene. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us today. So I obviously know that you have a new show that is out called We Own the City. Is that correct?
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about that?
So We Own the City, it's produced by the guys that produced The Wire, which was one of HBO's longest running shows in history. It's about Baltimore police corruption. I am on there as a dancer. You guys have to really just watch it and see just how corruption goes hand in hand with police and the entertainment world, so to say. It's a really good thing. It's Johnny Bethel, Trey Shanvy is on there. There's a lot of big stars that's on there. It's my first time actually dealing with the network, so I was super excited to be on the project. I'm super excited. My episode has not aired yet, but it will be airing soon. It comes on Mondays at 8 p.m. on both HBO and HBOMax. You can actually stream the first 3 episodes right now. It's a really good show. It's like opening just basically people's eyes to different corruptions and things like that in our places of authority, which I'm sure, you know, as a culture, we all know and we've been experiencing over the years. But it just opens up to just not our culture, just period. This period as an organization, some organizations have corruption in it, no matter how good they try to make it look.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly. It's a lot, and especially it's good to have that nowadays with everything that's going on in the world, especially with Black Lives Matter movement. To have this representation on television is amazing for other people to have something to relate to.
Right.
Now, without giving things away, I know you can't give us too much info, but how would you describe your character on the show?
I would say kind of like me, just don't take any crap.
I know that's right.
Stand up for what I believe in and just don't take any crap.
Yes. And if you had to describe We Own the City in one word, what would that be and why?
It's phenomenal. And I would say the reason why it's phenomenal because it's giving a different outlook. You know, we have the Black Lives Matters, we have the different protests and organizations, but this is giving like a deep insight of what's really going on. And it's coming from a book that was written. So there's a lot of true elements in the story in the limited series. So I just think it's a phenomenal way to tell the story and to have people engaged into it to understand what's really going on.
Oh, I love that. And you mentioned earlier that We Own This City can be compared to The Wire because of the setting and the show's plot. How do you believe We Own This City will make its own statement? Because The Wire, that's some big shoes to fill with it. You know, it has history there. So how do you think We Own the City is going to make its own statement on the network?
Just because of the timing. We're in a time, as you said, with like Black Lives Matter, the different arrests and killings and just different things. And, you know, with people screaming, defund the police and just so many different things happening, I feel like We Own the City highlights different opinions. It highlights different eras, even like with it being 2022, let's not just pretend like this haven't happened before 2022, you know what I mean? So I just feel like it puts it in a more modern day perspective. And so even though the same people who produced The Wire produces We Own the City, We Own the City has its own caliber of like basically its own road. It has its own road of the way that it's going. The Wire was definitely something great as well, but this is more so of just true elements and putting it in more of an entertainment factor where people can understand and be more open to it.
New times. We ready for it. And Obviously, Little Women Atlanta, that once you joined that, your career skyrocketed and you're doing so many amazing things. What would you say your experience was like filming Little Women Atlanta and just that overall vibe? How would you describe your overall journey?
So my overall journey with Little Women Atlanta, it was good and bad. I would say this, it was good because it gave the opportunity for me to provide for my family as well as live on in my dream that I have, that I've always had of being, a star, an actress and things like that. On the bad end, it's just, you don't have control of how they edit things, how they make you look to the world. So it had its good and bad. Like I think with any job or any career you take on, it has its good and bad, just like night and day.
Hmm. No, that's fair. And I hear that so often how the editing is completely polar opposite of how you film things. So it's crazy how easily they can tweak things and maneuver it for it to come out as a whole different scenario.
Absolutely. So like on there, I would always consider myself the villain because, if I spoke out or I didn't agree with what others were wanted to do or wanted to say, then I seemed like I was the problem or the bully. When all in all, I just stand up for what's right. I believe in equality and I believe in letting people be who they are. I don't try to change them to be something else.
Exactly. Do you ever feel like because of the portrayal through the show with the editing, did that ever take a toll on you? Like, how did you
Absolutely.
handle that?
Absolutely. It's still taking a toll on me. Like with me trying to get into my acting, real acting, because that's obviously reality TV.
Mhm.
It frowns upon because people think that I'm not able to be, work with, or I'm this hothead, just because of how the show portrayed me. And I'm thankful for the show and I'm thankful for my role on the show. However, it has been a difficult task to get into acting and different roles because of what people perceive of me, of how I was shown on the show.
Yeah, that's such an unfortunate thing because it's like people judge you before they get to know you, and I'm sure that has to be the most difficult thing where you just want to strangle somebody. Sometimes it's like just meet me first before you judge me from what you saw.
Right, absolutely. But I'm a perseverer. I'm not gonna give up. I do auditions all the time. It's in entertainment, it takes a lot of no's to get to a yes. So I was so happy when the HBO gig landed in my lap through actually Miss Juicy. She knew the people and they were looking for someone like myself and she was able to refer me. So shout out to her and prayers to her as well in her journey. But yeah, so it's really hard as being an actress anyways, especially being a little person actress. Because some people just want you to fit certain roles that may be like a gimmick or a circus show when we have so much more talent than that.
Mhm.
But I'm not gonna give up. I love the battle. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, people need to put a stop to the typecasting. People are worth so much more than what you perceive them as.
Right.
And you spoke before about you're an advocate for equality, and that goes into my next thing because you have a brand called Are You As Tall As Me? And you use your platform wisely because you enforce the knowledge of dwarfism. And why is it so important for you to normalize dwarfism and educate the public?
It's important for me because one, I have a 9-year-old daughter that has dwarfism. If people don't know, I have 4 children and only one has dwarfism like me, and she's 9 years old. And times are different because when I was 9 year old, school was just horrible. Bullies were everywhere. It was very très bizarre to be a little person. It's like you were like this freak or something. But for her, I want her to be more confident, and I want people in the world to be more educated to because we all know that ignorance come from not being educated or just being plain out dumb. And I feel like you can't really get mad at someone when they see something for the first time they've never seen in their life without having being educated. So like things like the derogatory term midget and things like that, I just want to educate them. That's very disrespectful. That's not something that we allow. We like to be called by our names, or nicknames, whatever we prefer. But as well as in the world, like they have certain counters and things for people in wheelchairs, but they don't have anything for little people. And so like if I was to go to court, I would have to step across the podium or around the podium in order for the judge to see me because the podium is so high over me. And the same thing with a person with a wheelchair. So I just feel like I'm preaching these things and educating these things in order to just change what's just simple little things to make us feel equal, you know? And I also have normalized dwarfism because it needs to be normalized. Like there's not one little person in a million billion people. There's millions of little people all across this country, all across the nation, all across the world, in different countries that deal with, you know, being belittled or thinking that they're incapable. You know, I'm a mom of four, and still when I go in the store, I have to prove that I'm capable to be a mom to my children.
Do you feel like people try to over help you because they feel like you're incapable of things?
Absolutely.
Like, okay.
Absolutely.
I hate that.
Me too. But I get it, but I don't get it. And then that's what made me say, you know what, these people aren't educated to know that, you know, people that have short stature or dwarfism don't like that stuff. I don't need your help. Now, if I ask for your help, excuse me, could you get that off the top counter for me or something like that? That's a little bit different. But just you see me say, oh my God, let me help. No, because as far as with me, what it does, it sends a message to my children that I'm not able to be their mom, that I'm not able to be that adult that they need to protect them and to care for them.
Exactly. That's true. And you also have a few books that you're releasing. Are they being released yet, or
they are not released yet? I am working on a book, and one will be Are You As Tall As Me, as well as Normalized Dwarfism, where I just both Are You As Tall As Me is the biggest brand ever. I love, that's my baby, because it's kind of like a metaphor. Are you as tall as me? You know, you see this 4'1" person, but my personality is over the roof, and my drive and ambition is over the roof. My determination is over the roof. So it's like, are you really as tall as me? You know, you think you're normal or average, as they say, but you have no idea how intelligent and how determined I am to show you that I'm also average or normal. And so Are You As Tall As Me is not only just my brand, it's also the name of my first album, because I also do music. And it's just a message to people to show that don't judge a book by its cover. You never know what a person has been through and fought through to get to where they are now. And it's not just about little people. It's about anybody that sees them as incompetent or incapable. There was at one point, people felt like women weren't able to do things.
Yep.
So
you've been speaking facts. Here with you. And you already like segued me into it because you mentioned how you're a recording artist. So like I said in the very beginning, you wear so many hats because in addition to being a motivational speaker and author, you're also a recording artist. So what kind of message do you like to relate through your music? What do you hope your audience typically gets out of it when they hear your songs?
I want them to get confidence out of it, number one. I want them to get inspiration out of it, number two. And I want them to get that they're able to do anything that they can do if they want to do it, but it's not going to be as easy as it sounds. Because just be honest, when you're an entrepreneur or a businesswoman or man, it's hard. You have to go through things. I feel like sometimes we're tested to make sure that's what we really want. And that's what we're going to fight for. So just don't give up. I know I said it before in my last interview, is when you feel like you're about to give up, that's when your breakthrough is coming. Don't give up.
There's so many memes that are like that, where you see the guy who's hitting in the dirt and then he's trying to reach the diamond and then he's just right there and he turn around. And I ain't even gonna get into it because it's about you. So anyway, with the many hats that you wear, with you being a motivational speaker, author, actress, reality star, recording artist, which one or which title do you feel is the most near and dear to your heart, and why?
The motivational speaker is something that I want to double down more into and get more popular in, just because I know that I have a voice. Even though I'm little, my voice is deep and loud. It carries across a room. I know how to get the attention of a whole room. And I feel like my journey and the things that I've been through and overcame will help so many, not just little people, just those are who feeling down, who may need that extra encouragement, who may need the inspiration, like, oh my gosh, she went through some similar things that I went through. And then plus for little people, because they can relate to me more. But it's my message is not just for little people. Little people are the root of it. However, it's for anyone that feels like they're not enough, or people make them feel like they're not enough.
Yes. And you told me earlier when we were talking about Little Women in Atlanta, how you were portrayed as the villain. And I know that you were dubbed as like the little Azalea Banks during your time on the show. How do you feel about being compared to Azalea Banks?
To be honest, I have a mixed feeling about it. I do love Azalea Banks for the way she speaks out. But I have learned myself, even with being on the show, there's a time and a place, and there's, a chance to when you should speak out. And so that's kind of where I have mixed feelings about being, dubbed the Azalea Banks, because she does speak how she feels. And I love that about her, because don't let anyone silence you. Because your feelings matter, it's your life, your career. However, don't do it in the middle of us having like a baby shower, or everyone's happy and now you come in with the dark cloud, because it does make you seem like either a hater or jealous or things like that.
And do you feel like it also plays into it? Because society is always trying to pit the angry Black woman image. Do you feel like that also played a part into it?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because again, the way that it's edited, it makes it look like I'm angry. When all in all, I'm not angry with anyone on the show, more so production than the women, because at the end of the day, we're all there doing a job. We all have a story, we all have families to feed. So I could care less to be angry with any of the women on the show, to be honest with you. I know it doesn't look like that, but that's the truth of the matter. I have 4 mouths to feed. I have no concern with any other adult besides myself and my children. But I do feel like it does play a part on the angry Black woman scenario.
No, that's deep. And I'm so curious. I want to know. So when production edits these episodes, by the next season, when you guys see them, are they acting scared? Like when you do something wrong to a friend, or you talk behind their back and then they find out and you try to act a little different. Does production do that, or do they just not care because it's a part of their job?
I don't think they care. I think it's their job. They're there to do a job. The camera's rolling all the time. They can chop and edit, screw it however they want it to go. We may not have a storyline, but they do, of how they want something to look. So I always call it an experiment. They put us in a room, maybe something was said to somebody, they don't know if it's true, and because they're not adults, they're immature, they're going to run with it instead of saying, hey, did you say this? Or, hey, what did you mean when you said that? They're just going to automatically think you did it. And then now they have this cold shoulder. And then a person like me is like, yeah, what's going on? You got a problem? And that's how it all starts. So that's how it goes. I mean, and I'm cool with it. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm very much cool with it, because going into reality TV, I didn't understand. But after years of being on reality TV, I'm like, okay, this is what they do. This is how it goes. So you just kind of have to watch how you talk and watch what you do.
You learn the part of the game.
Learn the
all
game.
About Vanessa now. But on a brighter note, what would you say is the most memorable part or your favorite part of your career thus far?
Oh, I have so many, but I would say most recently was with I was able to bring my children onto Little Women Atlanta season 6 and let people see how I really am. Because with my children, I'm a totally different woman than just me and just you are trying to attack me. Like, I can definitely hold my composure more when my children are around, because I want them to be able to learn to do that as well.
And before we wrap up, is there any advice that you would like to give to anyone out there who is struggling with dwarfism or trying to find a place for them to fit in? What would you like to say to them?
I would like to say to anybody that's struggling with dwarfism or just not being as confident as you would like to be, I want you to know that everyone goes through what you're going through. Everyone. Some people speak on it and some people don't. Some people let it fester up to other things. But I can say this, I'm not sure if you're spiritual or not, but pray to whoever you pray to and just speak it into existence. They said before that we are the word, okay? And so the words that you say will manifest. I can't tell you enough how many people call me and say, you said you was going to be on TV. You said you was going to do this. You said you was going to do that, and you're doing it. And I believe in that cold-heartedly. I still manifest and write down things today. When we get off this interview, I'm going to be writing down more things. That's just because that's how I am. I believe in manifestation. I believe in believing in me in order to have others believe in you. Just like self-love. If you don't love you, nobody else is going to love you. Or how would you even know that they love you if you don't know what loving you is like?
Okay. Ooh, child, you just ended. I should throw my shoe at you.
Girl, I've been through some things, I had to learn, y'all. I don't know on my own. I was in a toxic relationship. I was used and abused. You just have to learn, guys. You have to, don't give up. That's my song right now, out streaming on all platforms. Don't give up, change the game, and show these people that you are still here. We may bend, but we don't break.
Ooh, yes. I'm going to use that as a caption next time. I'll make sure I quote you, okay?
Okay.
And before we go, can you let everyone know again, how can they find everything? Your music, We Own This City, Motivational Speaker. How can they book with you? Can you let everyone know how they can do that?
Perfect. So all social media except Facebook is I Am Only Abira. So Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, any Snapchat, I Am Only Abira. For Facebook, it's Abira Greene and or Abira. And then to book me, it's in my Instagram, but it's bookingabira@gmail.com. My music is streaming on all platforms. My first mixtape is actually out right now. It's called Are You As Tall As Me? I have a new mixtape coming out that I'm currently working on. Hopefully we have it out by the fall, but I do have one single out right now from that mixtape, which is called Don't Give Up. That's also streaming on all platforms. And for motivational speaking and booking it, like I said, bookingabira@gmail.com. And I can't wait to see you guys.
Yes, you guys heard her. Make sure you stream Abira's music. You will find her soon on We Own This City. Is it the next episode you said, or when is that coming up?
I just want you guys to watch until you see me.
Boom. There we go. Watch them.
Mondays, 8 p.m. on HBO and HBOMax.
There we go. And if you guys want, follow us on _all-of-the-above-1 on Instagram and Twitter. And to see more interviews such as this with the beautiful Abira Greene, you can follow us and find us on www.alloftheabove-podcast.com. That is where you will see a stream of interviews on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Abira, for speaking with me. This was a great conversation. I felt a lot of stuff you say. I felt the motivational speaker coming out of you. I was here for it all, especially the speak it into existence. I say that all the time. I am big on manifestation. So I hope everybody really took in everything that you were saying today.
Right, absolutely. And I'll say this, I'm glad that you're big on it, because a lot of people in our culture are not. They think it's like some type of magic or voodoo. Let me tell you something. Believing in God is magic. If you want to, that's what you want to say. If you believe in God, then that's magic, because that's somebody we've never seen, but we see him moving in our life. We feel him moving in our life. I feel him moving in my life. I know you felt the movement in your life. There's things that just, what they say, fall out of the sky. They don't fall out of the sky. God already had that for you. You just had to meet him halfway, honey.
I know that's right. You had to give us one more little motivational speech. I hope you guys listen to her music.
Yes,
I hope y'all felt the vibes. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it. No
problem. And thank you, beautiful, for having me.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Wednesdays at 7, Angel Marie and Kevin playing the illest records, bringing us back together. Philly is all season, storming through any weather, leaving the track bleeding. Way we pull it together.